Hey, welcome to Talking 360. I'm Tony Scott, and with me is Lena Johnson, JolenaJohnson.com. And Jolena is an author. She is a writer. She is a publisher. She is self-published. She's published other people. She provides consultation as far as books and publishing, coaching, training, taking your life to a whole nother level. I hear she irons a mean shirt too, so says she does it all. And she'll do it all for you. And we've been doing a series on self-publishing and what it takes. It's not, if you want to be successful at this, it's not as easy as you think it is. So I guess the basic message here, Jolena, is you're going to get out of it what you put into it.
Yes. And my goal for this series is that people be aware of what they're getting into so they can be successful.
Because you're going to put time, a lot of time, if you're going to, like, say you're doing your first book, not counting the amount of time it takes you to write a book, because it's different depending on what you're talking about and who you are. So let's put that aside. Mm-hmm. But I'm talking about once you think it's done, you've written your book, that point forward, you're probably, a minimum 6 months away from actually getting it, like, in a store or for sale? Minimum?
Not necessarily. You can actually have a book printed in, literally 2 days.
No, but I'm talking about doing it right, though.
Oh, doing it right? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I recommend at least a 3-month lead time, although you can do it quicker, but 3 to 6 months, absolutely. And, you might not even have it in a store. I mean, having a store, we didn't even get into all of that too much. But in terms of time, 95% of the success of the book is going to be reliant on your time, your energy, and what you do. It's not anybody else. And it's going to be you using any methods and means, whether it's social media, whether it's you making phone calls, sending emails, standing in front of people, doing presentations. It is an investment. And it is like another full-time job if you want to do it correctly.
And we go into this in previous segments that we did regarding this series about time. We also talk about money and how much money it's going to cost you and how much money you're going to make. You may want to go back and watch some of the previous videos, because it's very rarely that you're going to strike a gold mine with your first book.
Yes, and you may not even make a profit. So I want people to understand, when you're writing your book, look at it as an investment in your life, an investment in the people's lives you intend to touch. Look at it as an investment in your future, okay? So a foundational product. And so just like you pay for lights, or you pay for gas, or you pay for any of those other things, you have to look at the money you spend on your book as an investment. And it may cost you, at the very minimum, with the elements you need, $500 if you did it on your own. It may be a minimum of $500, but it could literally be $50,000. And personally, one of the reasons I wanted to do this is because I probably spent about $30,000 learning what not to do.
Mm-hmm. What not to do?
Learning what
I thought you were going to say $30,000 on publishing, like, your first book. You said you spent $30,000 just on learning what not to do.
Mistakes, okay?
Well, so you're a godsend to people who are probably wanting to publish your first book, because you're breaking it down right here as far as time and money and resources. Resources are so important, and we talked about this in the previous chapters of this series that you can watch, and we'll put a link. We'll also put a playlist together so you can watch them all together if you have that kind of time to do that. Well, we'd love for you to do that. But resources are important, and you mentioned places like Fiverr, FIVRR.com, where you can get someone to proofread your works, or someone who can look at it from a different angle, somebody who can help you with the design of the inside of the book, the design of the outside of the book, which you mentioned covers more than just the cover. It covers the spine of the book. It covers the other side, the back end of the book, maybe the inside flap if you want to be a little fancy, things like that. It just depends. And Fiverr is a great resource for that. They can even create you a logo. They can do all kinds of things for you. If you decided that you wanted to do some kind of advertising on the radio and you wanted a certain voice, you can buy a voice over there on Fiverr. I mean, Fiverr is a great resource. Also, Vistaprint we talked about. Again, these people are not sponsors, but these are great avenues for you to check out, because you can get things done on probably the budget that you have and have it look really good. Vistaprint will do bookmarks. They'll do banners. They will do those 6 foot by 2 foot things that stand up next to your table. Things like that. They can make a banner that will cover the front of your table. They can do all kinds of things, business cards, all kinds of things. So we talked about that in previous chapters of our series here. So there's a lot of great information in this series that you do need to check out if you're serious about publishing your book and you're serious about doing it the right way and getting it in front of a lot of people. And I think above anything else, though, Jolena, you have to have some pretty thick skin.
Absolutely. And I want to add just a couple of points. First of all, now you can teach this, Tony. I mean, you got it. You were listening during the series. You're the expert now.
Yeah.
One thing I want people to know is when you do go to Fiverr.com, that's 5RR. So FIVERR.com. There's going to be a whole bunch of people from around the world that are consultants, and they do things for $5. So they're not going to necessarily proofread or edit your whole book for $5, but they may edit a certain amount of words for $5 or a certain number of pages for $5. Mm-hmm. There are also people, like you said, who do graphic design and things. So I want you to know you need to look at the list and look at the work that people have done and decide, okay, I like the way this looks, or I like the deal they're doing. And you need to try to kind of pick and choose and see who you might want to work with. And because it's such a low investment, you may even want to give the same assignment to several different people to see what you can come up with because it's only $5. Right. Another resource I did not mention before, but I do want to say I've used is odesk.com. And they have people around the world as well. And they do editing and they do proofing. And some of them do interior design work as well. So odesk.com. That is a good resource as well. And what I love about these are you have accountability. So people are not just taking your money and then they don't deliver. They have a specific period of time. If they don't deliver, your money will be refunded. Okay. So that's why you want to go through people like this as opposed to necessarily, and I love Craigslist, okay? But if you're not going to see the people and they're around the world, if somebody doesn't turn it in, that's a business person. So they have invested in their business and their reputation rankings are on those pages as well. So it's in their best interest to deliver what they say they're going to deliver to you, okay?
That's great information to follow up on the resources because you just don't want to give your money to anybody.
Right. And then with Vistaprint, a lot of the Vistaprint stuff you kind of have to do yourself. I mean, that's the advantage because it's less expensive, but you could get a logo or you could get your book cover or whatever from Fiverr and then take those pictures and put them onto Vistaprint and then have them created or, do the whole thing and just order them through Vistaprint. So you have some options depending on how much time, effort, resources, and how creative you are yourself.
Yeah. If you're trying to raise funds, hell, have a bake sale to raise funds to get some of this stuff done. I mean, sell some fish dinners or something. I mean, if you're serious, you find a way to do things.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, if you're looking to fund your promotion of your book and stuff like that, make a fish dinner, sell some fish on Friday, and go at it, and save your money, and then you'll have money that way. There's all kind of ways to do things.
Yes, it's true, and people like to eat fish.
Especially during the Lenten season, yes. So there is some strategic planning that goes on with this. You just can't say, okay, I'm going to write this book in January. I'm going to have it out by summer because it's about summer love or whatever. And then, it's going to be out there and I'll make appearances. I'll be at the not the Borders, they're not around, Barnes & Noble. I'll be at the Barnes & Noble or I'll be, at Sam's because they have a little book section and stuff like that. And well, you know what? It don't work that way all the time because you just can't pull your table up outside of Sam's and start selling your book. You have to have permission to do these things. You have to have collaborations. It's good. Jolena mentioned in an earlier series that there are in many cities, there are publishing communities, local communities. Yes. Mm-hmm. And you can go there. They meet like once a month. Go there, network, get to find people. Redefine your handshake, make it firm, learn to look people in the eye when you talk. All this stuff, it seems kind of like, I'm telling you, I've been in broadcasting for over 30 years, and it's all about who you know, and it's all about the connections that you make with people and how you present yourself.
Yes. And
it's like we were taught a long time ago that if you go on a job interview, you don't wear flip-flops and shorts.
Right.
Kids do that now. I don't get that. But hey, it is what it is. There's still things that are done the old-fashioned way.
Right. And you want to hone your craft. I mean, you want to be around people who are doing what you're doing and who have done more than you've done. I mean, that's one of the great things about these videos is that we're trying to prepare people. But I mean, literally, we could spend 10 times as long going detail by detail and you still wouldn't know everything. But the goal is to understand there's a process. Okay. And so from start to finish, don't just write your book and be so concentrated on the book that you haven't thought about what you want the cover to look like, or you haven't thought about the audience. Once you decide you want to write that book, think about what your message is and who you're speaking to. That is crucial. So when we're talking about strategic planning, if you are speaking to elementary school teachers in the United States, the way you speak is going to be different, or the voice you use, than if you are speaking to corporate executives in Japan.
Right.
Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. The words you use, the stories you tell, what you're doing. And so sometimes you need someone like me. You need someone to sit down and say, you know what, before I even take all these notes, or before I put pen to paper, let me be strategic in what I'm saying, why I'm saying, what the purpose is, what success looks like, and what is the reader going to benefit? How is their life going to be better because they invested this hour or 10 hours in reading what I have to say?
Well, there it is right there. Now, if you can go back and watch this entire series, and I think you're going to get a wealth of information, and you're going to get it explained to you, I think, in plain ways that even simple people like myself can understand, right? And I think it would behoove you to do this if you're serious about watching a book. Watch the entire series. We're not charging. I think we could probably charge for this content. This could fall under premium content, but we're giving it away to you for you to check out, to take your publishing where you want it to go. Now, having said that, if you need more information or more detailed information, you can go to JolenaJohnson.com, and she is a consultant. Now, she has to eat too, so she has to be paid. She's not going to break the bank, but she's going to be fair, and you want to get with her to get some really great in-depth information if you have more questions about what we've covered in this series. So Jolena Johnson, Jolena. If you can't spell Johnson, you're on your own. .com. Okay, JolenaJohnson.com. Jolena, it has been a privilege talking to you about this. I've learned so much, and I hope people who watch this series learn more. And if they want more, again, go to JolenaJohnson.com.
May I say one thing before we go? Mm-hmm. I just want to say, Tony, thank you so much for the opportunity to do this. Thank you for spreading the word and helping authors, because you are helping to save people's lives by the work you're doing. And when I say that, there is so much wisdom we have inside of us. Remember, I said everybody has at least 3 books. And if we share our life experiences, what we did well and what we didn't do so well, people can read about those and their lives can be improved. They can make better choices and better decisions because they had your wisdom. So I want people to be encouraged and think about why your story is important. Make sure you share it. But Tony, we need people like you, because we can have a book sitting on the shelves, but if nobody knows about it, it's not helping. So I want to thank you for opening your heart, opening your resources, and coming up with this great medium to do this. Thank you. No problem.
Thank you. That's Jolena Johnson, JolenaJohnson.com. I'm Tony Scott. Thanks for watching Talking 360.